Postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight in Detroit, Cat out because of the eye laceration suffered Wednesday night. OG Anunoby out because of a bad toe. Detroit's all-star Cade Cunningham had to score only 11 points tonight. Dennis Jenkins out of St. John's off the bench for 18. And Detroit, for the second straight time in Detroit this year, blows out Jalen Brunson and the Knicks 118-80, the final count. Back in New York from our Delta MSG studios, Bill Pidto along with Wally Szczerbiak. So January 5th, Detroit at home beat the Knicks by 31.
Yep.
Tonight they beat them by 38. Again, no Cat, no OG Anunoby. That didn't help. But when we talk about this, you say this is much more significant for the Pistons than the Knicks. How come?
Well, the Knicks won, obviously beat the Pistons in the first round of the playoffs last year. So the Pistons need to prove to themselves and send a message that they've gotten better this season, which they have. They've upgraded their roster. They're doing some good things against the Knicks. They're showing that their confidence is not only that they took them to 6 games and close possession games and got 2 games in Madison Square Garden in that first round series. They're looking like a pretty confident team when the Knicks walk through the door in their building. They're also looking like they're going to have the home court advantage over the Knicks because now they have a 6-game lead in the loss column, which is going to be tough for the Knicks to overcome for the rest of the season. So if the Knicks do play these guys in the playoffs, they're going to have to be ready to be the road underdog in a 7-game series. Not the underdog, but they're not going to have more games at the world's most famous arena. So there's some stuff brewing. I still am not concerned. You know, obviously the Knicks 8 straight wins. This was a tough one with a couple guys banged up. Your physical players not playing. But at the same time, you're giving the Pistons a lot of confidence if they do see you again in the playoffs.
So the Knicks' 8-game winning streak is over. One of our talking points in the pregame was Detroit doesn't really do that well from 3. They average 11 made threes per game. Tonight they hit 17. They only shoot 35% from 3, 22nd in the league. And tonight from 3, Wally, they went 17 of 40 for 43%. So the Knicks, who have done a really good job during this winning streak defending the 3, really struggled tonight.
Yeah, and they're missing their elite defender and OG Anunoby perimeter-wise. He would have been a good guy to have on some of these 3-point shooters. You know, this team got hot. This team lost last night to the Washington Wizards. It just goes to show you every game starts at 0 in the NBA, and if you want to win, you better play well. So they came out and wanted to send a message after that really bad loss last night, and the Knicks were caught in their crosshairs. This team played really good basketball. That's 2 wins that the Knicks are going to have to say next time we see Detroit. We want to send a message that, you know, this isn't going to happen a third time. Duncan Robinson's a really good addition to this team. He brings elite outside shooting, as we know. Tobias Harris always loves playing against the Knicks, the Long Island native. He had a big game. And Dennis Jenkins, coming off the bench, the former St. John's Johnny. St. John's locked up in a battle right now against UConn. He sent a message, too, that he wants minutes and he wants to play a key role for this team. And this Detroit team, they have a lot of physical big wings. And they can throw a lot at you. They added Kevin Huerter at the trade deadline, who didn't really even play much, just played some garbage time. He's just getting his feet wet with the Pistons. But they've definitely upgraded their roster from last year. And if the Knicks were to see him in the playoffs, this is a team that has no fear anymore of the Knicks.
And, you know, Cade Cunningham's an all-star. Jalen Duren, their other all-star, didn't play in the first game between these two.
Yeah,
Detroit won
that's
big.
a good point.
He didn't play again tonight.
Right.
Detroit won big. One of the other storylines here, the Detroit bench outscoring the Knicks bench 66-36. Tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. The Pistons really took control of this game when Cade Cunningham came out of the game in the first half.
He had 2 fouls in the first half, and that's when Dennis Jenkins took over. That was a big 3 at the end of the first quarter, extended the lead to 10. And then more threes, just heroics, tough shots at the end of shot clocks. You know, this is what we talk about at home. This is when your bench really gets into it. And Detroit remembers the Knicks beat them 3 times in the playoffs on their home floor. 3 of their 4 wins in that 4-game first-round series was in Detroit. Detroit does not want to let that happen again this year, and they send a message blowing out the Knicks at home the first 2 meetings in Motown.
Paul Reed, the former 76er, 12 points. We just talked about Jenkins with the 18, Javonte Green and Karis LeVert.
Yep.
They got him in the offseason to bolster the bench. You put it all together, and the Detroit bench outscores the Knicks bench by 30. Now, Jose Alvarado did not make his Knicks debut.
Right.
They got him from New Orleans. The expectation is that Alvarado will make his Knicks debut Sunday at Boston. And, of course, Deuce McBride, the core muscle surgery.
Yes.
Josh
that's
Hart
another
nicked
one.
up with the ankle situation, wasn't able to play at full strength. So the Knicks really compromised health-wise for this showdown tonight.
It's game 52. You can't panic about game 52. The Knicks have just come off a double overtime, very draining, adrenaline-filled game at the Garden where you beat Denver and guys were playing 47, 48-plus minutes. Knicks aren't going to make any excuses. I'm not going to make any excuses for them. They didn't play well tonight. Jalen Brunson didn't shoot the ball well. He tried to get the guys off to a start by being aggressive, just couldn't hit anything. I think he started the game 1 for 11, and that was going to be a tough mountain to overcome. And these Pistons, they have no fear against the Knicks. They have a lot of confidence against the Knicks, and they have a message they want to send to the Knicks that they're the first ranked team in the East for a reason, and they're going to be a tough team and a tough out in the playoffs.
You mentioned Brunson there, Wally, 4 of 20 shooting after that spectacular performance Wednesday in the double overtime win against Denver. Fatigue, you think?
A little bit of fatigue, a little bit this team's very physical with them, and it was just a little bit of an off night. It happens. You know, Jalen's going to flush this one. He's going to bounce back. You got another big-time game against your rivals Celtics coming up here on Sunday, so you can't let this one linger. You got to kind of adjust and make some adjustments, and it's just one game. That's the thing about the NBA grind and the grueling NBA schedule. You can't let it carry over, and that's one thing the Knicks have to learn for when they lost 9 out of 11 is to not let this snowball. Obviously, they know they're capable of playing at an elite level and a high level, just coming off 8 straight wins in a row. But this Boston game is going to be a big game. You know, this Boston team, Knicks, they've been neck and neck in the standings the whole entire season, and you know, I know the Knicks want to get this win up in Boston.
Pistons had 5 players in double figures, but the game high scorer, Wally, tonight was Mikal Bridges, had 19 for the Knicks. Shot the ball pretty well, 7 of 16.
That's good. That's not very well for him. That's
okay.
Below his season average. He's a 50% shooter for the year, and that's under 50%. But listen, Mikal had to step up tonight. He did. He tried to keep the Knicks in the game early. He looked a little more aggressive than I've seen him, hunting his shots a little bit, which was good with a lot of with OG and Cat and Deuce not in the lineup. So that's a good sign. You know, he led the team in scoring. So it was a good effort by Mikal, and he's got to gear up, get some rest, and he played 48 minutes the other night, so he's the Iron Man. He's always there, always available, and he's got to get ready for this 12:30 early start against Boston. Remember, the Knicks have to fly to Boston, get some rest, lick their wounds after this beatdown, and get ready to answer the bell and play well up at the Boston Garden.
And I mentioned off the top, such was Detroit's balance tonight that their great player, their all-star, Cade Cunningham, who averages 25 a night, they only had to score 11. They still won by 38 points.
Well, you see Jalen do that sometimes. When Jalen sees the other guys going off, he feels like, I'll just let you guys do your thing. You know, it's a night where I don't have to press. I don't have to, you know, overstress and stress myself out and, you know, tax my body. And that's kind of what it seemed like Cade Cunningham was willing to do. You got to remember, too, he's a point guard. So when he sees his teammates are going, he's not going to just try to get his points and get selfish and get aggressive. He's going to find his teammates. He's going to get his guys involved, and he's going to be a point guard mentality. And that's kind of what he did tonight because his teammates were playing great.
A lot of times this year when the Knicks have been shorthanded, the guys who have gotten an opportunity have been able to compensate, but that wasn't the case tonight. Mo Diawara got a start, not that effective. Kevin McCullough got some playing time, not that effective. So that's one of the things that has helped the Knicks throughout this year is guys who have had to step in and step up have done that tonight. They just weren't able to do it.
No, they weren't. And it's a tough environment on the road. This Detroit team is the second best defense in the league. And it starts with, you know, when Jalen's struggling, it's going to trickle down because you have guys that are, you know, a little unsettled in their roles, you know, playing and trying to, you know, show Mike Brown that, you know, I can help us win a game like this. But when Jalen's not rolling, you know, it kind of snowballs and trickles down, and I think that's kind of what happened throughout the roster. And no one really played at a really high level for what they're capable of, and just got to forget it. It's 1 of 82. It's a bad loss. You move on, and you try to not let it linger and get the next one a W.
Landry Shamet has been so effective, scored only 5 tonight. Josh Hart didn't look to be 100% because of the ankle woes. He scored only 5 points as well. Up next, we'll hear from Mike Brown. His team's 8-game winning streak is over. 3 more games before the All-Star break, and the Knicks are now 33-19. We'll hear from the Knicks coach coming up.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Welcome back, everyone. Detroit tonight beats the Knicks 118-80. 80 points is the fewest the Knicks have scored in any single game this year. Mike Brown's post-game comments, as always, presented by Chase.
You got to give the Pistons a lot of credit. They kicked our behind, starting with me. We all got our behind kicked, and they're a good defensive team. We got to try to move the ball a little bit quicker we got to make quicker. We got to make quicker decisions with the basketball. When you hold on to the ball or you don't play fast against them and your spacing's not right, they have an opportunity to load up and make it real difficult on you because of their length and their athleticism and their quickness. And we faced a lot of that on the offense end. I thought we might have taken one dribble too many when we did hit the paint, instead of getting off it early and letting the next guy make the play. They ended up speeding us up when we did take shots. They did a great job of closing out to our three-point shooters and speeding us up. And that was part of the reason why we missed a lot of shots early on. We got great looks. We were just a tad bit in a hurry when we were shooting the ball. And then defensively, I thought our physicality was there. Their second unit did a heck of a job. Holland, Reed, LeVert, Jenkins, they came off the bench, and those guys, Green, they did a great job defensively, but just as importantly, they did a good job from the three-point line. And we didn't do a great job once they hit a couple. We didn't do a great job of getting to their three-point shooters and seeing if we can make them uncomfortable, especially in that second quarter, and that's what helped them keep the lead.
It's been a while since the offense has struggled. Did you see, was this one of those instances where just missing shots maybe bleeded to the defense, or do you think this was something else?
Yeah, no, I think it did. I think, we missed some shots, dropped our head a little bit, and it even sped us up more, because they do a good job of getting in you, and they're real physical, and like I said, if you over dribble or take one or too many dribbles trying to get into the teeth of their defense, and then the decisions aren't quick, they do a great job of helping and then getting back out in the passing lanes and making it hard on you. And so I think, missing a couple of shots impacted us defensively, but we still can't let that happen the way it did.
And kind of with that, they have not been a good three-point shooting team all season. Do you chalk that up to they're a good NBA team that everybody has their night, and then that maybe forced the defense to struggle? Because I'm sure you go into the game plan pointing out guys are struggling with their shots, then they make a few, and then do you have to kind of alter what you're doing? What's the process when a team that doesn't shoot well starts shooting well and handling that through the rest of the game?
Yeah, that's what I said a little earlier. If a team hits a few like they did, you got to change. They're all NBA players. Now you got to try to not run them off the line, but you got to try to close their airspace a little bit better. See if you can put more pressure on them when they're shooting the ball and not let them continue to be comfortable shooting it. Because if they're comfortable shooting it and they're in a rhythm and they feel they're in a rhythm like they were, and they know that they're feeding off their defense to be in that rhythm, then it could be a long night like tonight was.
Any update on Josh? Did you see what happened when he came up a little bit?
No. Yeah, I didn't see. I don't. It's
It was right ankle, but there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Good. All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so talking there, right ankle for Hart, that was before the left ankle that kept him out the other night against Denver.
He needs the All-Star break.
Yeah, he does. 3 more games for the Knicks. It always comes down in this league these days to three-point shooting.
Sand on his toes.
Yes, he does.
Toes in the sand.
Yes, Knicks 8 of 33 from 3. Detroit, as we mentioned, 17 of 40. That's a 27-point differential the wrong way. It's hard to make up when that's that big a gap.
Yeah, and Detroit makes 11 on the season at 35%, and they made 17 at 42%. So part of it is Knicks have been really good defending the 3 in the 8-game winning streak. If you don't defend the 3 in this league, you're going to lose. And the Knicks know that. They didn't do a good job of getting the hands in the face like, Coach talked about, and they allowed this team to get into rhythm. Anytime you allow a team to get into rhythm, they're going to hurt you. And conversely, the Knicks had some good looks. Like in that first quarter, they had a possession where they had 3 threes, offensive rebounds, back to back to back. They missed them all on 2 straight possessions. And it was just one of those nights where the shots weren't going, and the Knicks paid for it dearly with a 38-point loss.
For the second straight time this year, Detroit wins big at home over the Knicks. Final count tonight, 118-80. Jordan Clarkson after the game on what went wrong.
Jalen talked about he felt like you guys didn't come with the intensity necessary. Today it felt like just missed shots kind of bled into poor defense. Did you feel like it wasn't an effort thing, more so just the shots weren't falling and it might have impacted the defense too?
Yeah, for sure. I think, we missed a lot of shots offensively. He pressured us. We were just taking tough shots throughout the whole game. So they got out and scored easy transition points and stuff like that. So it's definitely tough to beat a team on their home court when stuff like that is happening.
I know you weren't here last year, but you've been in both of these games this year. Do you feel an extra level in intensity from that team because of how the playoff series went last year?
For sure. I watched a lot of that series, being at home, and I saw the intensity when they was playing last year. So definitely could feel them gearing up and taking these games really serious, as we are too. So, but yeah, we'll look forward to playing them, throughout the rest of the year and, see what it is.
Back now from the corner three, presented by Michelob Ultra, some Pure Light beer. First game for the Knicks after the All-Star break on the 19th at home against these Pistons.
Yes, and that's got to be a big one. Obviously after a week off, the Knicks will be well rested. It's kind of an odd game, the first game after the break. You're kind of just trying to get your routine back in order, but it's turned into an important game because you want to send a message that you can beat this team and play with this team on your home floor at the world's most famous arena.
First things first, the Knicks Sunday at Boston, Pacers home Tuesday, at Philly Wednesday. Sunday's game is a national TV game. So far this year, the Knicks against the Celtics, Wally, 1-1.
Right.
And as we showed everyone on the 150, Boston down 22, beat the Heat tonight. So you got the Knicks in third in the East now, one game behind the Celtics.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting coming down the stretch. Right now the Celtics, without Jason Tatum, it's crazy. And all the moves that they made after last year's team, Porzingis gone, Drew Holiday
You like
gone.
Vucevic as an acquisition for them?
That's a really good acquisition. This guy has been an all-star, solidifies the center position. He can stretch the floor. He can shoot, helps them on the boards. He's a double-double machine. So that was a good pickup by them. And they didn't give away much. They gave away a bench guy in Anthony Simons. So, the Celtics are trying to upgrade, and, the Knicks are in a battle because Cleveland also upgraded their roster.
James Harden.
Yep.
All right, Mikal Bridges played well in defeat, led the Knicks with 19. Here he is now after the game.
That you guys weren't able to sustain that tonight?
I think we got good looks, but, yeah, I think we just got to keep making the right play, keep find an open guy, keep helping each other out. I think it's just defense, honestly, for us.
Because of the intense playoff series last year, do you guys sense an extra level of intensity from their players and just from the whole atmosphere here this season coming off of last year?
I just really worry about us and what we got to do better.
Defensively was a lot of it just, you can't play perfect every single night, but do you think a lot of those missed shots bled into the defense more than it has because you guys haven't really been missing shots lately?
I think just transition. I think they got a lot of transition from our missed shots and some turnovers, but we had good looks, but they were just getting out.
Pat O'Keefe there for us in the Knicks locker room. What happened with the defense tonight? I mean, it's been so good during this winning streak.
Yeah. I just think this Detroit team comes at you in waves. And, you prepare for guys like Cunningham and guys in the starting lineup, but you don't prepare for a bench barrage of 66 points. And they just came in the game, completely flipped the game. That's kind of, the things that, now you have some film on these guys. So next time you play them, and if you play them in the playoffs, you got to start preparing for any of those guys really having an impact against the Knicks.
Detroit bench outscoring the Knicks bench. We mentioned it, worth repeating, 66 to 36. Knicks 8-game winning streak is over as they lose tonight in Detroit. Mike Brown wants a babysitter for J.B. Bickerstaff. J.B.'s beaten him now twice on Detroit's home court this year. 118-80 the final.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
All right, right, so it's the Knicks at Boston Sunday afternoon. You can listen on the radio on ESPN New York, and then the Knicks host Indiana Tuesday. They're at Philly Wednesday. Then you have the All-Star break, and play resumes on the 19th at home against the Pistons, and then on Saturday the 21st against the Rockets. And the corner three remains open for last call.
It sure does. We're chilling. Let's go.
Behave yourself. Back
oh, you too, buddy.
More after this. Wrapping up the post-game show, Knicks at Boston Sundays on national TV. So our next Knicks game here on MSG is the Knicks and the Pacers Tuesday. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.